Hi guys, Dice with Death here. Welcome back to a brand new Battlefield 5 video. Today the video is about the P08 pistol carbine, which is available this week in the Tides of War. So, a bit about the pistol itself on Battlefield. The max damage is 36 and the minimum is an 18. So for those of you that are very good at maths, that's a 3-shot kill and a 6-shot kill with anything in between. So it starts off with a snail magazine, which is what it's called. I can't say it in German, unfortunately. So we're going to call it a snail magazine, which has 33 rounds in it, which is absolutely ideal. I'm sure it's great on PC because you can spam the mouse button, the fire button. But on console you do need to aim it at least a little bit. Its RPM is 360. Again, I bet this is amazing on PC, but unfortunately I play on console. So, I think that this weapon has to be used with a ×3 or the ×2 scope. The reason for this is that if you use the iron sights, the recoil just makes visibility so limited. You can't see your target, you can't see much of anything really, to be honest. So I would definitely stay away from the iron sights. Specialisations, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It is, the left basically is hip fire, the right basically is aim fire, as in aimed down your scope / sights. So, on to my opinion. Should this be a recon weapon? Honestly, no. The reason I say this is mainly because if you have this weapon, you're going to be face tanking SMGs, ARs, etc. Which, in all honesty, you're probably not going to win. If you're going to get that close to the enemy, why don't you just be a medic? Why don't you just be an assault class? There is nothing that the sniper class gives you that makes you any better than a medic or a support or anything else. You can throw bandages, you can throw your ammo. I know the scout does have your flares, it does have a spawn beacon, which is great, but I think the only people who actually use this is if you've been asked by your squad, by whoever you're playing with, to play as an aggressive recon so they can use the spawn beacon and the spotting flare. I think your normal recons will still use a longer range rifle, but just use your ×3 scope on the Lee Enfield or whatever. I don't think this is, I just don't really see the point in it, to be honest. I enjoyed using it. It's good fun. I got quite a few kills on it. I think you can only really use it in domination or squad conquest, team deathmatch, anything like that. Anything with small maps or you know, where you're going to be up close and personal to whoever you're fighting. I think in the long run it's not going to be used, to be honest. I think now, initially, everyone's all over it, everyone's loving it, because it's new, because it's fresh, because it has really changed the scouting role if people use this weapon. I think that's what DICE are trying to do. I don't think it's going to work, because I don't think that it works to the scout class. I just don't think it's viable. Because a scout, I play scout as main. I use the Lee Enfield. I follow my squad up, only slightly behind, and I just try and pick off the headshots of people with LMGs laying down, etc. You can't do this with this weapon, so I just don't think it's going to work. So a bit about the actual weapon itself. It was mainly used by artillery units in World War One and also aviation units, just due to its size and technology advancements at the time. Meant there was, you know, very few machine guns. Most people use rifles, etc. This was basically a shortened down rifle. That's what it was, you know, in a nutshell. That's what it was there for. So it made the artillery units a lot easier for them to use it, and obviously your aerial units for the exact same reason. By the end of the war, it was replaced by the P08, which, as most of you know, is a submachine gun. We've seen it again. It had the snail round magazine, so I'm sure a lot of you will know that anyway. It was very sought after as a souvenir by Allies. I think a lot of that was because it was issued to the Waffen SS, not as a carbine, but as a pistol. Whenever you see any German bad guy or any like Bond villain from back in the day or anything like that, the Luger somehow has become a symbol of just an enemy or a bad guy, or however you want to phrase it. I don't know where it's come from. I think it's probably come from the whole Nazi thing. So, you know, they've kind of bunched it all together like that. But there's no, obviously, evidence of that. That's just my opinion. And that's why I think it is. So, even after World War I and World War II, it was used a lot. The French and the Russians, having taken, obviously, piecemeal Germany, etc., a lot of the occupational forces were issued with Lugers after World War II, just because a lot of the arms factories, warehouses, etc., had a lot of Lugers in stock or parts for Lugers. So they were issued to the French, the Russians. The French mainly because, obviously, because of what happened in World War II, they didn't have many of their own arms factories until obviously taking France back, and even then a lot of their gear was either Allied or come the later end of the war, just to make things easier, you know, at the end, was to use German weaponry. And the Russians, the same thing but with supplies. It made more sense for the Russians to use what weapons they had on hand and just give them to their troops, then transporting it all the way from Russia to back across to their occupational forces. It's actually still seen combat up until even Vietnam. I believe it was still sought after then. Whether it's because it was quite rugged, did the job really well, I'm not really sure. I can't find any information reference the artillery Luger and the carbine. They both look identical. I've tried and tried and tried to find if there's any differences between them, but I've found absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna say that the carbine was actually the artillery Luger and vice versa, and they were just called different names by different companies. So the actual design of it, it's just like a Luger pistol. However, the barrel is longer. The magazine is obviously the snail magazine, and the stock at the time was removable. But its actual design was still the pistol itself. So they were readily available in World War II. There was a lot of them. For some reason, in most programs, most information, a lot of it is officers seem to have them on hand most of the time. Whether that's just because of films, etc., I don't know. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and please subscribe. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next video.